title of my presentation, the concepts, the practices of resilience, sustainability, and well-being in mobility. Too many, sorry. Okay, and then here, the first lessons from the limits to growth. This is a kind of sustainability, and this is the theme of for the limits to growth simulation team. Okay, this is a J.S. Forrester, professor, and the others were all students, PhD students or assistants. This is Dennis Meadows. This is Donella Meadows. I think they were couples. I'm not sure. This is Jorgen Randers, anyway. And then this is a result. The growing, exponentially growing population. This is green is food. Food production cannot catch up. And then 2030 or 2040, human society will collapse. The limits to growth is not only food or resources versus population, but also our field, transportation. And then this is very similar to my home city when I was about, I was a high school student. But I took my students, Nagoya University PhD students, there was a project to this Shijiazhou. This is industrial city, very much smoke, okay? And not only fixed points emission, but also moving emissions like this. So I'm staying in the next car of this. And then I was not driving. I was concentrated in taking photos, and going out from Beijing. And these are a series of heavy lorries. They are transporting goods produced in Suzhou. But the production place, okay, so production places, many were factories are kicked out because of pollution. But consumers are still in Beijing. So that is 300 kilometers away, okay? Far away. Japan also kicked out, Tokyo, Osaka, Nagoya, kicked out in our 60s. But Japan's plane is only 50 kilometers in radius. But the case of China, huge, very wide, so it's 300 kilometers. So then I drew up this figure. I got some idea. This is GDP per capita. So in 1909, China's GDP became the same as Japan's altogether. That means the per capita income was 10 times the difference here. And then what is that vertical? This is total cargo weight. How many tons? Okay. So Japan scrolled very flat, and China going out 45 degrees the direction. What are the differences? So more and more GDP, they transported more goods, freight. But Japan also transported more, but Japanese industrial goods became smaller, lighter and lighter. That is technological innovation. The most typical was Walkman, you know. When I was the elementary school boy, stereo set was so big. But when I became a graduate student, Walkman was born, very small. So that kind of innovation, technological innovation. This field is a technological innovation, okay? And then the next one, the left-hand side, is not only tonnage, but also ton kilometer, okay? So Japan was still moving very close to the vertical axis, but the China going out. Okay? So that means, as I told, Japan kicked out the factories, but still not so much distant. China's case, 10 times far away. Okay, so 10 kilometers much bigger, became bigger. And then the last one is 10 kilometer by road. Okay, by road. So you see here, China was going left, but say steeply going down, coming down. So this is the start of motorway opening. The first motorway was open 2005, I think. Then modal shift of freight from ship in canals, okay, to lorries, heavy trucks. And then finally, so this is calculation of CO2 emission. So the tonnage in 2009 was 4 times different between two countries. But at the end, say CO2 emission 12 times here 1 and 12, okay? And here this is 1 and 4. Okay. So this is unsustainable, okay? And then this is from our project together with Pavini Sensei for Bangkok. So this illustrates stupidity of 20th century, the transport. So, well, I have to start with this one. The base dependent suburbanization based dependent upon road network that was Bangkok, and then rail network was Tokyo. Okay, so this means two-dimensional, say, this two-dimensional disperse. Okay, so this means the future cost to manage infrastructure, a huge infrastructure. And the next, the second one is, say 95%, this may be a bit exaggerated, over 90% cars are sleeping, parking, okay? They are not used. Then that's why we need to share vehicles, okay? And then not easy to walk in Bangkok or many developing cities. And then finally, there's a final stupidity is the same time of the day people move. Okay, the morning 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock to start to the direction of city center. And of course, 10-year children, they understand congestion. They focus congestion. We adults don't understand. So stupid. And I borrowed this from Pavini Sensei. So as a result, traffic, this I pass it. So this is the second is okay. Sorry, first one the congestion, road accidents, and then asthma, and then energy consumption. So huge. So this is the evidence of unsustainability. And then suddenly going to resilience. So Japan met a really big earthquake, 2011, North Japan, red part. Okay? So magnitude 9.0, so huge. And then 15,000 people died. And after that, many died and then not found, and then altogether 25,000 okay, fatalities. So this is really unsustainable. And then almost all roads, railways, just sea coast, all broken. And then this is the same year in Bangkok, a huge flood. and water could not move out for 3 or 4 months. So many were damaged. And then this is Kobe earthquake 1995. This is the piers of motorway turned down. This is very much sad story. An engineer, very famous bridge engineer, was requested to make the shape of gigantic structure to make it smarter, slimmer. Then originally 2 pillars, but he proposed 1 pillar. Okay, so after having experienced how it is unstable, we understand. But the top engineer did not understand. Okay, and another resilience matter was this is also Bangkok. I borrowed this from I missed to note I borrowed from Dr. Waramet, and then this is pandemic, okay, COVID, and then this is my edited book. Pandemic resilience, learning from COVID-19. So this is transportation amid pandemics. We have I have a request. I requested 66 researchers all over the world from 22 countries, and then the 3 months after COVID was recognized, we started this project, and at the beginning, some of Indian contributors told, sorry, I got COVID, then I cannot continue writing so in that way. Okay. Then they finally go into well-being. Okay. So well-being, how to measure. So conventionally, we use the transport project evaluation cost-benefit analysis. In cost-benefit analysis, how much GDP would be increased altogether, okay, and then divided by construction and maintenance cost. But now SDGs are recommended. What is written there? No one left behind. Okay? No one left behind. The total GDP cannot tell anything about who is left or who is not left. Okay? Then I propose a new method to measure each individual person's happiness. So using a very simple model, say imagine you are living here in Yellow Mesh, and then for example, you need a medical service or shopping service, green and purple, and this will be diminished. I call it the accessible values are diminished, physically diminished. And then you can get, if you live in Yellow Mesh, you can get this summed up accessible values. But these accessible values are perceived samely by me, old man, and by a young lady, Pamini Sensei. Okay, so different. The Pamini Sensei is very keen to go for shopping. Okay, so the purple is important. This is Pamini Sensei's perception, and she doesn't need to go to hospital. So green value, this is physical value, that's the same. This physical value are same to everyone, equally to everyone. But perceived by Pamini Sensei like this. For me, green one is more important, and then purple one is not. And then finally, we can denote very simply like this. VMJ means outside the J mesh. I'm living in I mesh. the M service, medical service, shopping service is outside J mesh. This is the existing service value. But this is diminished by, say, impedance, distance, or cost, Cij. And then if I live in A, then I can get only Mij, okay, M service. But this is, A is perceived by different person, K-type person, M service is how important is different. This is weight vector. And then weighted sum of A, I define QOL. This is QOL. So even if I live in the same mesh as in I live, and the permanence live in the same mesh, but QOL is different. Okay, so all summed up QOL over K. So this is Bhutan's gross national happiness automatically. But even better is we can identify not all people, but only K-type person, or even one person, whichever. Okay. So this is a case we have estimated weight, criminal rate is important for all female. Upper is female, lower is men, and men are not always concerned about criminal rate, but middle-aged men concerned about working, the convenience, etc. And the senior people concern more community life, local community life, etc. And then in this way, this is a case of Singapore. And the red part is a very high QOL part, and the blue part is very low. So this means, and then vertical is the number of population. Okay, so this means outside many unhappy people are there. Then we could propose ring line of rail, etc., whichever. Okay, so all together, the weighted volume of this map is gross national happiness. Then I have to go to the next slide. How to go to the next, this one. Okay, so I will skip very much. And, finally, we assess the project, any project, in this way. So rather than mass GDP, but the personal QOL. Okay, personal QOL by this project. And then this is a daily personal social cost. To keep this height of QOL, how much social cost, including construction, maintenance cost, and then CO2 damage cost, etc. And then this tangent means the goodness of the project. And then the ratio in between is, we call it a factor, Weizsäcker's factor 4 or factor 2.3, etc. Okay, so how much the project will be improved can be measured by tangent. Okay, thank you very much.